up your pants and do the muscle man dance.
Pro wrestling demands dedication. You need to maintain a good body which is muscular enough to attract fans, but at the same time live with being on the road. They can't get their nutrition meals all the time and have to rely on fast food. The ability to live with that and maintain a good figure is the hallmark of an amazing wrestler. Due to the difficulty of pulling this off, many fluctuate in size and they may start small and become big, or they may start big and become small. As long as it's a healthy switch, we can all be happy for the talent. This is Wrestling Hub, and today we are looking at 10 body transformations of wrestlers.
Had a moment where I had to give myself a kick in the butt, and yeah, I was just in a slump. I wasn't really doing much. I was out of shape. I just was in such a negative place. I was in such a rut.
Former WWE champion Jinder Mahal rose from absolute obscurity and suddenly became the top star. Upward mobility like this is envied, as Mahal ended up joining an illustrious list of only 51 WWE champions. Mahal may have not been well received, but his 6-month title reign is a part of the history books. Mahal wasn't your traditional wrestler. He was lean for a while, but upon his return in 2016, he looked like a different person. All muscle and without a hint of fat, he became a monster, and his dedication in the gym definitely sent management a message about his work ethic.
Was not a priority. One day I just woke up and said, enough's enough. I can make it back, and I can get to the top.
Take wrestling legend Jake the Snake Roberts. He was completely beat up from 37 years in the ring. He could barely move.
Jake Roberts is one of the most memorable figures in wrestling. The inventor of the DDT was at the forefront of an entire generation and was one of the biggest names in wrestling during his first boom. His legendary feud with Randy Savage can never be forgotten, and he was the man to put over Steve Austin for his 1996 King of the Ring victory. Despite these heights, Roberts took a fall. Suffering from drug addiction caused him to lose more than expected. No longer having the body of a superstar, he appeared broken and unimpressive. He gained weight until he was bailed out by DDP in 2012. Like Scott Hall, Roberts moved into Paige's house to get better.
This is the greatest high I've ever been on. DDP yoga, I've lost 65 pounds so far. A fourth of my body is gone. 65 pounds. You start liking to look in the mirror.
Ahmed Johnson made history when he became the first ever African American to win a WWE singles title when he won the IC Championship in 1996. We can all go back and watch the Ahmed Johnson that was in the upper echelons of the roster and be taken aback by his physique. Massive shoulders, chest, and arms truly reflected the body that Vince wants, and the former Dallas Cowboys linebacker lived up to that. Johnson had a good WWE run, but after he left the company in '99, he would wrestle for only 4 more years before retiring. He started to put on the pounds at an accelerated rate. Even though no numbers exist of his current weight, he has far exceeded his 305-pound built weight. Let's hope that his weight won't cause health issues like it has for so many other ex-superstars.
I was in a wheelchair when I got off the plane.
I got you, buddy.
Good. Like bloated I looked like Elvis right before he sat.
Scott Hall or Razor Ramon oozed machismo and looked like $1,000,000. His run in WWE was successful as his rivalry with Shawn Michaels brought in headlines. He introduced the ladder match in WWE and single-handedly turned the business on its head when he jumped to WCW with Kevin Nash. All through this and his return to WWE in 2002, Hall continued to look like he was in good shape. However, after his release, all his troubles seemed to catch up, and Hall continued to combat drug addictions, heart problems, epilepsy, pneumonia, PTSD, among other issues, including legal ones. The man that was inducted into the Hall of Fame was a man on the mend because of DDP yoga, but only after his body hit rock bottom.
Came to in the ambulance, and they told me you had a seizure. I was like, what the f*** a seizure? I'm not epileptic. I've never had any issues with that. And I took that as a sign from God.
Big Cass made waves on social media after a picture of him was leaked last year where he didn't look like the monster he was in WWE. As his tag team partner Enzo would say, Cass was looking pretty soft. He was looking heavily out of shape and had become chubbier. Cass kept making appearances across the indies and ROH. Evidently, the pictures of Cass being out of shape and his health concerns raised after his seizures at a wrestling show made promotions think twice before signing him. Yet Cass has gotten himself back on the right track and has started putting work in. His recent return to wrestling saw him come to Cactus League Wrestling, where pictures of his appearance leaked and Cass looked ripped, and arguably better than he ever did during his NXT days.
6 months later, I'm 300 fucking pounds, I'm a tank, I'm shredded, I look amazing, I'm in the best shape of my life.
A positive example of what people can do after leaving WWE, everyone has seen what Rey Mysterio looked like when he returned at the 2018 Royal Rumble. Mysterio is one of the most successful wrestlers, and one wrestler that absolutely demolished the cruiserweight barrier to become a heavyweight and WWE champion. For someone who relied on speed and athleticism, Mysterio started to look sloppy back in 2014. He wasn't at the top, was losing fan support, and started to wear a t-shirt while he wrestled. His figure wasn't becoming the man that looked sleek all his career. That is history now, as Rey looks like he has been chiseled out of granite. People often gloss over how dramatically different Stephanie has looked in her career in front of the camera. What is even more surprising is that she looks like she is in the best shape because she wasn't always in the mid-2000s. While she wore normal attire at the start of her career, she soon started to disappear from programming. Stephanie had started focusing on being a mother, and the once flattering wrestling clothes weren't looking the best on the now pregnant woman, who had 3 different babies at the time. After all of this, leaked pictures of Stephanie showed her to be overweight, but of course that was a natural outcome of childbirth. What is more impressive is that she got motivated enough to make a comeback with a new physique. Just like people keep track of how many times Big Show has switched allegiances, people should keep an eye on how many times The Undertaker has gone through a dramatic body transformation. The man once used to be a redhead, so jumping from that to a jet black haircut seems to be a big transition. He's also resembled a Herculean figure, but also an overweight biker. From there he would cut down, and although Taker may have been undefeated in 21 WrestleMania matches, Father Time never stops. Taker's transformation happened purely because he continues to wrestle. He is putting work in, but he is also trying to fight these shackles of age. He looks good, but he's a far cry from the mythical Taker that we all remember. He has a bit of a gut and has evidently lost a lot of his natural athletic ability, which allowed him to be such a fearsome competitor. Braun Strowman garnered one massive criticism when he first started, and that was his size, constantly being compared to Big Show because he evidently had all the athletic gifts to succeed, but not the same dedication inside the gym or the necessary self-control. Instead, he was a bit on the fat side, which visibly hampered his pace and athleticism. We have seen Strowman change over time, and the former black sheep of the Wyatt family was being given credit for his weight loss. He has reached his physical fitness goal, recently putting up a picture where he showed that he finally cut all the extra pounds. In the picture, he looked shredded. Now he may seem different in the upcoming weeks as he will be putting all the weight back on but his muscle.
Got injured out of neglect, out of overconsumption, out of just eating whatever he wants and being overweight, and that was the damage that made him have to get double knee surgery.
Kevin Owens has always been referred to as the fat wrestler. For the longest time, we genuinely could not have argued with that assessment. He's always worn a shirt, and primarily because having big guts may not be what people look for in the hyper-realistic world of pro wrestling. KO has gotten to where he is based on pure work and an amazing character, which have gotten him the reputation of being one of the smartest minds in the business. KO definitely has a lot of goodwill in WWE's hierarchy because he has always been in a prominent spot and is one of the few NXT successes on the main roster. In his time off, he cut down on his weight and looks a little more muscular. It's exciting to see what he'll do considering he is one of the top babyfaces. And these were 10 body transformations of wrestlers. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later in the next video.